This morning and next week, actually get this week and next week with you, we're going to start a little 2-week series, and we're calling it Pursuit. And my title or my theme for this next 2 weeks is, what are you pursuing? Or who are you pursuing? When I think of the word pursuit, I think of the time back when I was in high school, a few years ago, when I pursued my wife. We were high school sweethearts, went to different high schools back in Tulsa, Oklahoma area. I went to a large school, and she went to a really small school. And we met when we were fixing to be sophomores in high school for the first time ever at church camp. We didn't date until our junior year of high school. She was 15, I was 16. Her dad wouldn't let me date her, which was probably a good idea at the time. But I remember when we were in high school, different schools. We were junior, and I was a senior in high school. We dated. Every Valentine's Day, I would send her to her school this just gigantic, expensive bouquet of red roses. I mean, just this gigantic arrangement of roses. Now, I did that honestly. I will tell you honestly, in my flesh, I did that for one reason: to tell every boy there that she was taken. If you are wholeheartedly, full go, pursuing God, and you desire and you long to see God's face and to worship a powerful creator God, and that is your drive in life, is to worship and to serve a powerful God, then you will ultimately, just out of coincidence, have a pursuit for what he pursues. In our society, in our world, God is always questioned. God is always referred to as unkind. When things go bad, when tragedy happens, people always ask, where was God when this happened? Why wasn't God looking out for me? Why wasn't God kind to me? This morning, I want to talk about a kind God, how God is kind. And I want to show you a few things. And at the end, we're going to apply these things to our lives. Because your understanding of who God is should come out in your life. Should be a byproduct of how you live. How you view God how you should relate to people. If your understanding of God this way is not correct, then your relationship to people will be incorrect. He sees the backside of God, but he can't see God's face. Earlier in the book of Exodus, Moses is approached, or he sees this burning bush. He sees this burning bush, and the bush speaks to him and says, Moses, take off your sandals because you are on holy ground. Awkward moments in church, isn't it awesome? I love it. Working at the attic, you just have awkward moments. Cell phones go off, kids get up and walk out. It's awesome, okay? He sees this burning bush, and God speaks from in the bush and says, Moses, take off your sandals on holy ground. These seraphim are flying around and above God, and they cover their faces and they cover their feet out of reverence, out of respect to a glorious, holy, powerful, almighty God who sits on his throne. And they worship him. Are you willing to sacrifice your child for the cause of Jesus? Now, I know you use the word sacrifice. I'm not saying you have to sacrifice them, never see them again. Don't ever think that. But are you willing to maybe lay aside your dreams of the house, the white picket fence, the 2-car garage, and all that stuff? Are you willing to sacrifice those things and say, hey, God, if you want my boy, if you want my daughter, then you can have them? Because I'd much rather them be in your will, serving you with their life, than anywhere else. Because there's nothing greater, nothing more valuable, nothing more important than the gospel. Nothing. So I challenge you this morning. If you are in ministry here, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep serving. Keep serving. Have a passion for it. Don't be discouraged because of it, because it's worth it. And if you're not involved, I challenge you to get involved. I challenge you to pursue God's mission for people. To pursue the mission, get involved, be a greeter, work in children's ministries, work in bus ministries. Find a place to serve. Contact our staff and we will find you a spot. Get involved, because there's nothing more important than what we're doing at this church. Nothing more important than what we're doing here. The gospel of Jesus Christ.